everybody. Welcome to Story Time with Stacey. I'm Stacey, and now before we begin today, don't forget to subscribe, okay? All right, so now that we are all set to go, and if you notice, I got my wonderful stuffed animals lined up here. I'm so excited that they have joined us today for this very special reading. And the book we're going to be reading today is called Little ROO Finds His Crow. And it's by D.B. Fiumano and illustrated by Md Faisal. So if you have a copy, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, go ahead, grab a juice box, get settled, and we'll get started. Little ROO Finds His Crow by D.B. Fiumano and illustrated by Md Faisal. Each day when the faint morning glow lit the skies, Little ROO and his dad were the first ones to rise. Big ROO took his spot on the hill at the farm, and up through the treetops rang out his alarm. Cock-a-doodle-doo! As Little ROO grew, he longed to crow too, but his beak wasn't sure of just what it should do. He squeaked, he squawked. The sound wouldn't flow, so he turned to his dad and said, "How do you crow?" "For me, my son, it's simple stuff. I ruffle my feathers, then strut my fluff. I plant my feet, and I puff up my chest. Then I stretch out my neck, and my beak does the rest." Little ROO fluffed his stuff, but it wasn't enough. This crowing thing was just too tough. He raised his head and opened his beak, but the sound that came out wasn't more than a squeak. Big ROO hugged his Little ROO tight. "You will find your crow when the time is right. Maybe at dawn, or to signal fear, or to tell the hens that food is near. Or maybe you'll crow, if only to say, 'Well, well, I'm looking quite handsome today.' Your crow will come when you decide, but the others had some advice to provide. 'If you want to crow,' said the barnyard cow, 'then let a bovine show you how. You must exercise your beak and your maw. Chew some grass to strengthen your jaw, wheat and barley, straw and hay. Then you'll be crowing every day.' Big ROO thought the idea was absurd. Who'd ever heard of a straw-chomping bird? But Little ROO opened and closed his beak wide, hoping to build up the muscles inside. And when he had pecked all the grass in the pen, he puffed up and opened his beak, and then... Squeak! "I have the answer you need," said the drake. "Just follow me down to the banks of the lake. You haven't been able to crow as of yet, because all your tail feathers haven't been wet." "My son," said Big ROO, "he is pulling your leg. My rear has been dry since I hatched from an egg." But Little ROO followed behind the big drake, and he lowered his little tail into the lake. And when all his feathers were soaked to the quill, he puffed up and opened his beak, but still... Squeak! "I know," said the hog. "Why, you haven't crowed yet. And it's not about chewing or tails getting wet. Lie down, take a mud bath, chill out, find your flow. If your feathers are frazzled, you'll squeak, but not crow." Big ROO thought, a rooster is always alert, not lounging around all day in the dirt. But Little ROO joined all the hogs for a rest, and he tried to chill out from his toes to his crest. And when Little ROO was relaxed to his core, he puffed up and opened his beak once more. Squeak! Little ROO lowered his head to the ground. "My beak only crows out that squeaky squeak sound. I've done all the things that they told me I should, but I still have no crow. I'm simply no good." And when he was feeling the lowest of low, he saw a faint shadow moving below. He sensed there was danger, above for Big Roo. But he didn't feel scared. He knew just what to do. His hackles rose upright, his wings flapped about. He opened his beak, and the sound bellowed out, "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" At Little Roo's crow, Big Roo spun around, and he swiped at a hawk, and it dove towards the ground. Then to his side quickly flew Little Roo, who flapped and crowed at the raptor too. Soon the large bird flew away, off in search of some easier prey. "I crowed!" cried Little Roo, filled with pride. "I found my own crow deep inside. I don't have to chew on hay, or wet my tail, or sleep all day." "We can oink," said the hog, "and quack and moo, but we cannot crow. That's true, Little Roo. We can give you advice, but your crow is your choice. Your fluff is your stuff, and your voice is your voice." When the next morning came, with its faint orange glow, Little Roo climbed the hill, and Big Roo stayed below. And as Little Roo crowed loud enough for both Roos, his friends cheered him on with their oinks, quacks, and moos. The end. Now, wasn't that a really nice story? Little Roo, he was, very sad at first that he couldn't find his crow, and he tried so many different things, but then in the end he found his true voice, his true crow. I really like that story. And if you would like a copy, just ask your grown-ups. There's a link below where you can go ahead and check out this author and grab your very own copy of this book. And on that note, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to reading with you again soon.